All right, so I guess we get to our special guest now, LeighClipse. As I said before, Leigh is a fantastic streamer, definitely worth checking out. Actually, mods, can we get a shout out for LeighClipse in the chat? Make sure you guys go follow her. She's also the best mod on Twitch, hands down. Okay, well,
Aw.
tied with Gall, and Solid, but the three best mods on Twitch are on our team here, and LeighClipse
Oh,
is
come
definitely
on.
one
I'm
of them.
definitely better than Solid.
Okay, you're definitely better than Solid, but I'm trying to be polite and trying to be cordial.
Solid is not polite to us.
It's going to be that kind of episode. Well, I'm trying to. It's a podcast. I'm trying to be professional here, and you jackasses are fucking it up for me. So anyway.
Well, look who's talking,
Dude,
jackass.
sorry, this train was on fire before it even pulled into the station there, bud. Let's not lie.
Yeah,
okay?
I am the ultimate. I am the ultimate
did
jackass.
hire this crew. I'd
That
like
is true.
you to know that.
That is true. That is true. I did. I didn't have much of a choice, but yes, I did.
You got the entire world out there, and you picked two nerds from the West Coast and your buddy in the same state. What do you mean you didn't have a choice?
I'm gonna backpedal
You
now.
mentioned the mouthy chick who bosses you around all the time.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But no, in all seriousness, this crew is the best crew there is for real though. But LeighClipse is definitely a big part of that. Leigh, I am so happy that we are going to be featuring you today. I've been very excited about this episode. That clip reel of yours was quite awesome. I really enjoyed putting that together. So I guess we'll just start off with the general questions. I'll ask you what I've asked everybody so far. What do you got going on your channel right now?
Well, I just did a Sims building challenge. I don't usually do the building ones because I don't think I'm that good at actually building sim houses, but I just did a challenge called the Dollhouse Challenge.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
Where the challenge is to make a house that has a really a pretty but slightly fancy front and no back.
Like a dollhouse. Yeah.
Like a dollhouse. And you have to, and I mean, you don't have to furnish it, but if you do, you're supposed to try to keep it looking as much like a dollhouse as possible. And I put a couple of pictures in my Discord to show everybody how it came out looking. I think I did a good job.
Oh, really? Awesome. Do you know, I wish I had something set up on the podcast overlay so we could show that. That would be really awesome to show. But yeah, make sure you check out Leigh's channel. You got a link to your Discord on your page?
In fact, in my Discord, I have a whole section called simulated content, which is all just pictures of stuff I do in The Sims.
I like punny names. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, definitely check out her Discord then too. Very, very cool. So very cool. So how did you get started on Twitch?
A friend who streams on Twitch that I knew back in high school. And a couple of years ago when I started up a Facebook page, we, kind of reconnected. It had been like 20 years since we talked.
Oh, wow.
And he told me about his streaming on Twitch and invited me to come watch it. And I wanted to chat, but I couldn't without actually making an account, so I bit the bullet and made an account.
So you could chat with your friend. That's awesome.
So I could chat with him while he streamed, and then through him rating other streams, I ended up meeting other streamers, including you, Sean.
Yeah, which I'm glad you did.
And I just kind of I started networking and making friends, and then everybody started convincing me that I should try streaming, so I did.
That's awesome. So you kind of had a bit of a humble beginning, just through your friend from many years ago, 20 years ago, reconnecting with that friend, and then you just wanted to join in just to support. I didn't hear if you said it was him or her, but this person, and it just kind of went from there. And then you just kind of got into the community and kind of started your own stream, and until you were here. That's really a good origin story.
And at first, I just stuck to streams that he and the people I met through him had introduced me to. But pretty soon, I started branching off and finding other communities. So I'm part of several communities. Not just one or two.
Yeah, so you're in retro. I know that, of course, and then you do a lot with Stardew Valley. I know that's one of, if not your favorite game, which we'll talk about for sure. And The Sims, I've seen you play a lot of that, and I've seen you do a lot of. I've seen you do some PlayStation stuff. I've seen you did some Dino Crisis from that clip reel too. So, yeah, you kind of spread out and do a lot of different interesting things.
Yeah, it was hilarious shooting that dinosaur in the ass.
When isn't it?
Huh?
That was just really funny.
I was
wasn't
cracking up at that one.
there.
Yeah, I was cracking up at that one. That was good. Very cool. Very cool. So and so you so when did you
Somebody restart Sean.
Yeah, I'm having a brain fart here. It's like I just went into it here. Yeah, you guys ask the questions. I'm having a brain loop here. Yeah.
It's got a 404 on my screen. Hold on.
Okay, where's my calculon button?
Okay, Lee. I know the story behind how you got started in the gaming series, but I want you to let the people know how you got what game. So that way you don't have to go that far back. But what game got you into gaming specifically, and why?
Oh. Wow.
Just the game.
I'd have to say Super Mario Brothers, the first one.
Classic.
Great game.
That's like one of the first games I ever really got to try to play, and I got kind of hooked on it.
Very cool. That is a classic game. That was actually the first game I ever played in the arcade, believe it or not. We talked about this on stream earlier, was Super Mario Brothers 1. Sank a bunch of tokens at Chuck E. Cheese in that thing. It's a great, great game. What would you say your favorite system is?
Probably the original PlayStation, the first one.
That makes a lot of sense from you.
Great
Yeah,
console.
that makes a lot of sense. That's one of my favorites too. Yeah.
You know, for the PlayStation 1 to be for what it is, it did a really good job in its time. There's a lot of shit on there that you can play and get into.
Yeah.
It was innovative at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really was.
It was pushing a lot of limits.
The PlayStation came out like right around the time when I was getting ready to graduate high school. Because while I was a senior in high school, I had a part-time job. I was a tutor for the adult ed program. And one of my friends actually volunteered for the night just because he wanted to hang around and bring his PlayStation in and hook it up and play games with everybody.
Nice.
Because one of the people in my circle, he was my best friend at the time, kind of one of the co-leaders of our circle. He was the supervisor for the adult ed part.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Very cool. So did he?
So he was.
Go ahead.
So he was kind of my boss.
Oh, okay. And he brought in his PlayStation. Nice. What types of games did he bring for you guys to check out?
I don't remember because they played games. I had to help everybody. Like I'm the one who did all the work.
That sucks.
Right.
They made you work while they played games. Those buttholes.
Yeah, they did.
Oh no.
That make me hate the PlayStation.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
this,
well, no, I wouldn't
this
hate the
goddamn
PlayStation.
Thing.
It made
I
me
didn't
want to get a
finally get to
PlayStation
play
and
one
beat them over the head with it.
I didn't actually get to play one until a few years later when I was babysitting some kids that I knew.
Oh wow.
And the dad in the family had a PlayStation, so while the kids were taking naps, I would sneak onto the PlayStation and try to play it. And the very first game I ever played on the PlayStation was Dino Crisis.
Oh really?
Well, that answers my question. I wanted to ask you what was your favorite or first game you played on the PlayStation?
Well, let's lead into then what
shit out of me.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Right.
That game scared the hell out of me the first time I played it. And a dinosaur comes crashing through the freaking window and
That's the one that
me.
scared me.
I was just like, holy crap. And it scared the bejeebus out of me.
Oh, I bet.
The first time I ever played it.
Did you play in the dark, or were you? I'm too scared to play a lot of those games in the dark.
No, I didn't play Dino Crisis in the dark, but when I got around to Silent Hill, I did that in the dark. And let me tell you, that
now we're
was
talking.
10 times worse.
Yeah.
Silent Hill's awesome. Yeah. Oh, Silent Hill, the dark. You haven't played it?
Oh my God, Silent Hill is amazing.
So good.
It's a great game.
Play it.
I have to play it.
It's good.
Yeah, recommended. Absolutely recommended.
If you like horror, if you like survival horror, if you like Resident Evil, then you'll probably like.
I
There
love
are
Resident Evil.
clips of Solid took a bunch of clips of me
Paul.
getting knocked over by enemies in Silent Hill and saying, "Get the fuck off me, asshole."
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Solid.
That's solid, man. That's his kind of humor. He'd be clipping
Get
that.
off me.
Nice.
Some
Oh, Butt's
grabby
mocking
ass
me. Yes, I
monster
would
from
rather drink
Silent
blue
Hill.
cheese dressing than play that. So,
Yeah.
but I respect those who do play.
Yeah, Paul don't like the scary games. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean,
Man.
Resident
You ain't
Evil
gonna force me to eat
doesn't.
blue cheese.
Resident Evil 2 and 3 don't scare me anymore. Resident
Right.
Evil 1 doesn't even scare me anymore.
Sure.
But Silent Hill still scares me.
It's so spooky.
It's got a creepy vibe.
Yeah, it's
to
the
it. I mean,
creepy-
Resident Evil is
though.
that's what gets you. That's game scare. The games
and all
that
the
I like that are
fog. You
scary.
can't see like 10 feet in front of you, and it's like
the ambiance. Alien Isolation is one of my favorite scary games. We're gonna talk scary games real quick, and that game is designed to be stressful just by the sound and just by the way it looks. And Silent Hill is the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on. There's no music. There's nothing that you can
There's-
grab
there's-
onto to feel safe with. And that's
Yeah.
what I like about it.
It's so silent. The only thing you can hear is your footsteps
Right.
clacking on the
Or
cement.
and then the radio starts crackling at the same time when shit's
Mhm.
getting air, and God, then your blood pressure
Yeah.
starts to raise.
It's the
Oh, it's so
fear
cool.
of fear is what it gets you. It's the fear of
Exactly.
getting scared. You're scared of what's going to scare you rather than the thing actually scaring you for a lot of that game. And
Right.
of course, it does have its moments too, but a lot of it is just that impending threat of doom that surrounds it. Yeah, great game. Fantastic.
Well, what's a game that you keep going back to? Lee? A game that time and time again, or maybe it's even a series. I mean, Dark talked about the Tales series, and Chard talked about Final Fantasy. Is there a game or
Bullshit.
series that just
Okay.
Okay.
going back?
That sounds like
Let's-
you're developing a really
Children.
specific allergy over there.
I'm allergic to bullshit too.
Hmm.
We'll talk about this after the
you two,
episode.
you two, settle down.
Separate corners now.
Separate
Come
corners.
on.
Yeah, I'll have legal mom
All right,
mode on
Mama
you.
Lee
No,
said
she's
so.
gonna go.
Yeah,
mom
Lee's
mode,
gonna go
yeah.
mom mode on you.
I don't want to get in trouble already.
Very nice. So
Mom, they're interrupting me.
right. So Paul, I think you were
Is
Is there a
asking.
series or a game? Is there a
Okay.
series or a game that just keeps pulling you back in? It's just always like, oh, I gotta play that. It just, it's
Okay,
still,
I would have to
it's still
say
so
for
good.
that one, it would have to be Stardew Valley. I've actually got like 1,000 hours sunk in that game now.
Wow.
Yeah, wouldn't you tell me they just released some patches like was it a week ago or so around that time, and you were so excited, and I think you said something like you stayed up late
the
night.
week of Christmas.
Yeah.
The week of
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
week of Christmas, they came out with the new content update.
Oh, that's longer ago than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been so much fun to play through all the new stuff.
Very cool. What's the best part about the update?
Well, they introduced a whole new island, a whole new area to explore.
Wow.
Oh,
And
shit.
that new island, it came with a volcano that you can explore and mine.
Oh wow.
It came with
That sounds
another
cool.
farm that
Mhm.
you can rebuild and have a tropical growing environment. It came with a resort, so you could rebuild that and have the townspeople come out to the island for like little vacations here and there. There's a pirate cave at night,
Jeez.
so you can go in and talk to some like actual pirates.
Right.
And a cute little Easter egg is there's two pirates in this cave that are fighting. One is wearing red and one is wearing green, and they're talking about being brothers. So it's kind of like a Mario Easter egg.
Like the
there.
Mario and Luigi.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
Red and
really
green.
cute.
Yes.
You had mentioned Christmas, so I was thinking Christmas colors, and I was like, is
I
this
was thinking
some
Christmas colors too,
seasonal-
but
Yeah,
then it's
yeah.
kind of a
But
double
it's-
meaning.
That makes
yeah,
a
it's
lot
double.
more sense,
Yeah.
It's a little Mario Easter egg there.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
And then there's just this, and there's also a new character that you can make friends with and eventually bring back to the town with you.
Oh,
He's
nice.
a little boy who washed up on the island
Oh.
after a shipwreck, and a shipwreck killed his parents and
Oh.
washed him up on this island. So he ended up getting raised by the parrots that live there.
The parrots. Oh, okay. Nice.
Uh-huh.
The
Okay.
parrots.
Yeah,
Very cool.
and so he's.
Did they
just
teach
this-
him how to
this-
talk?
He already knew how to talk.
Oh, he
I
already
mean,
knew
he
how to
was
talk.
old enough.
Okay, I didn't hear you say how old he was.
But he learned how to talk to the parrots
Oh, there you go.
and communicate with them
Very cool.
Oh, cool.
to the
Interesting.
extent that he pretended he was one of the birds. But seeing your character, he admitted to himself that he wasn't a bird
Uh-huh.
and he needed to actually be with other people.
Well, sure. Okay, cool. Very cool.
Well, I think this contributes so much to the style of your stream. You're so chill, which I appreciate because it's so relaxing. It's so inviting. Your temperature is so cozy,
mellow
with your streams.
Mm-hmm.
I really try to be, because I've seen streams where it's like all hyper energy and lots and lots of like chat goes by so fast the streamer can't even keep up. And I try to have everything just be relaxed, because everything out there is all so messy. Like it's just lots of frenetic energy, and I'm not like that.
No. Right. And that's why in your stream, like Paul was saying, reflects, it's that chill atmosphere, and that kind of reflects you, I think, because you're pretty much chill for the most part. And and that Stardew Valley just is really well suited for the type of environment that you have cultivated on your stream. It's very, very fitting. I always enjoy hanging out on your stream when you're playing that game, or any game really, but especially that game seems to really fit well with your style.
Well, I mean, I gave it to you for a reason.
That's true.
Called you out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we've done 4 streets now of it?
3.
3? I thought we did 4.
We did 1 on each of our channels.
For some reason, I thought we did 2 on yours. I guess you're right. I guess we did 3. Well, then we'll do a 4th one.
No, you bailed on us, but as usual.
Oh my God.
What?
I didn't bail on nobody.
But for Leigh, being that you sunk in so many hours into Stardew, how do you continuously drive your creativity? Like, what keeps you? But because every time I play with you, me and you will play sometimes like really late at night or onto the early mornings, and every time I'm saying, like, man, how the hell did she come up with all this? And she's always got some type of new pattern. So what drives that creativity in Stardew? Being that you've put so many hours into the game, I personally would have thought that you would have ran out of ideas, or I guess I would have. So how do you keep going?
Kind of go with one thing until I get tired of it, and then something else occurs to me. Like the farm that I have, my main farm right now, I'm in winter of year 6.
Wow.
And I finally just got tired of how all the planting beds were laid out. So I just bricked over everything, and I'm going to wait until spring and reorganize it. Oh, and I built a barn, and I put an ostrich in it. They added ostriches.
An ostrich barn?
I've got a barn with an ostrich in
That's
it now.
pretty damn cool.
Listen to the excitement.
That is what I love.
Tell.
Yeah.
And they added the ability to move the greenhouse around too. So I sat there and I rearranged all the buildings.
Oh wow.
So I brought my greenhouse closer to my farmhouse.
Okay.
And I put the ostrich barn closer where the greenhouse used to be. I bricked over everything, and then in the spring I'm gonna like reorganize it to be a little bit more efficient.
More efficient. Nice. Yeah. Sounds like you're working on efficiency. Yeah.
That sounds like work.
It does.
It can be, but it's like it's an outlet for my weird brain. So
no, it's
well,
it's fun. It's cool to hear the processes and how people look at these games. Because I look at Stardew Valley and just kind of go, oh, it's like a farming simulator. Cool.
Right.
But to hear the people that are hardcore playing them and getting into them like that, it's like, oh, it actually gets me excited. Yeah. Like when people are excited about a game that I wouldn't normally be excited about, it kind of, you feed off of that. And that sounds really fun.
To play it?
I've never played Stardew Valley, no.
Oh man, you should.
You probably should.
You keep talking about it. I'm gonna probably get sucked in with
Chardy's going to be playing Stardew by the end of the week. You wait. Leigh will make sure of it. But yeah, no, like to your point, yeah, like what Chard was saying, Leigh, especially when you started talking about they added ostriches, and Paul kind of alluded to this too. That spark in your voice, that your voice just kind of lifted up, and that's kind of the thing that I think he was kind of picking up on, and I think we all did. Which is really, really amazing. And yeah, it is fun to hear people, because I play it with you guys, but I'm not like hardcore into it like you. I kind of look at it as the farming simulator too. I have fun with you guys, but to see how your brain works, the inner workings of how you fit things together, or your plans, for you say you're planning for spring and things like that. That's really interesting, and it's really cool to hear that.
You may regret saying that, because I just had a really funny idea.
Oh, hit us with it. Let's hear it.
Okay, one of the things that I've been thinking about doing in The Sims is this challenge called the Insane Asylum Challenge.
I like the sound of it.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
You basically have to build a house or download one from the gallery and outfit it with six sleeping spots, 5 seating spots, so like seating for 5, sleep beds for 6, 1 bathroom, and a stove and a refrigerator and a counter for a basic kitchen. You have to put a full house of 8 Sims in there, and they all have to have the insane trait. So my idea is to actually like make all of you guys.
Because we're already insane.
And me.
We're a great template.
all of us on the podcast team, and maybe Demon Werewolf just for extra spice.
Right. That might be fun. That sounds interesting. I'd like to see that. Yeah,
I would
That
too.
would be funny.
yeah. You should definitely do that. Yeah, that's really awesome. Really awesome. So, what's been your favorite game you've streamed so far?
There've been quite a few that I had a lot of fun with. Like, I streamed the first Witcher game over a year ago. That was really fun.
Oh, I remember. I watched part of that. Yeah, that was fun watching.
Witcher 1? The first Witcher?
The very first one, yeah.
Okay.
I think she did 1 and 2.
No, I haven't done 2 yet, but I've been thinking
I
about
thought it was 2. I thought it was 1 and 2. Okay, my fault.
Well, Barca bought them, and then he redeemed them on his Steam account instead of mine. So for me to actually play it, I have to log into his account and download it on my computer.
Gotcha.
Which I can do, but I'm lazy.
The way you were talking about Stardew don't seem like you're pretty lazy.
Yeah, I know.
She's
right?
not lazy in the digital world.
Oh my god!
You
Why
put
do you
in all
think I
that
have
work.
Why do you think I have half of the mods I have? It's so that I don't have to wait.
Automation.
Oh, them Stardew mods. Yeah, I remember when I was going to play Stardew with you guys. Lee's like, I got some mods. I'm going to send you some mods. She sent me this big zip package of like 5 or 6 different things. It was
Lee
pretty
has
cool.
it
Yeah.
all down pat.
Yeah.
If
It might have been
in
more
this
than
chat
that,
is
actually. Yeah.
If anybody in this chat is listening and like Stardew, I'm telling you, give it Lee. It's fucking fun, and it's a big, especially if I'm having a real bad day or something and I can't sleep. I normally hit Lee. I'm like, hey Lee, she was like, you want to join Stardew? I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Even if I don't feel like playing it, I'll be like, yeah, why not? I play it. I'm like, shit. Now I want to do all this stuff because you feed off Lee's energy.
Right.
She has so much energy when it comes to Stardew. It's amazing.
Like you and Tails.
Fuck me back then.
Yeah, she's with Stardew as you are with Tails, and as Chardy is with Final Fantasy. Very, very into it.
I don't need to be sucked into anything else. Good Lord.
He's like, I got enough going on. My backlog is like 6 miles long. Right? Yeah.
I don't want to farm.
Mama Lee already got on us. So we gotta
I remember Bud made a comment on it. I actually made a sim out of Ada from Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
Nice.
She looks pretty hot, too.
Giggity. Good.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't get to see it? Yeah.
Other than Stardew being a multiplayer game, what other do you play other multiplayer games on your channel, or do you stream with anybody else?
Like, every time I try to get somebody to do a multiplayer game on my stream, I just end up getting like no response.
Oh, that's too bad.
We saw in the clip you were doing Diablo 3, so I was wondering.
I love Diablo 3. That's another one I've been doing the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that looks like a cool game. I've never played it.
Up until the end of the month, they're doing an event called the Darkening of Tristram, which is something that apparently they do every year that I didn't even know about.
Oh yeah.
And I've only got a couple of elite monsters left to kill to get the last 2 achievements for it.
Man, I got a buddy of mine that loves Diablo, and lived off of Diablo 2 to this day. He still plays that freaking game.
2?
And
Wow.
yeah, he plays 3, but he always goes back to 2. So I,
2's the only one I've
haven't
played. Yeah.
I haven't played Diablo since 2.
Really
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
I got to play it. My sister had it on her computer, so she let me play it.
Uh-huh.
And I enjoyed it when I got to play it. It's just that she didn't like to let me on her computer that much.
Sure. Yeah.
So she put her PlayStation 3 out in the living room.
Ah.
And Diablo was the only game she had for it. Diablo 3, I mean, was the only
Right.
game she had for it. So she's like, "Here, just play this. You'll like it."
I guess she was right.
Right?
Yeah,
she was right.
It's just that with the PlayStation 3 version, it only goes so far because Blizzard stopped supporting it.
Right.
Right.
So it only goes, the highest torment level you can go is to torment level 6. And you can't do, like, a lot of the other stuff, like Kanai's Cube is not even in it. The Ruins of Sescheron's not in it. Like, so much stuff that they've added to Diablo 3 over the years. It's not even in the PlayStation 3 version because it wasn't supported anymore.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
So I bought it to actually play on my computer. So I have a Battle.net account. And I
Classic.
would be happy to share my battle tag with anybody I know who wants it.
Leigh wants some Diablo 3 players.
Hey, I would
Friends.
totally love that. I really would. It's a fun game to play.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Can you put that in the Discord and we can copy and paste it and I'll throw it up in the chat if you want, Leah.
Yeah.
Sure. Let me see. I can put it in here.
Yeah, I haven't.
Very cool.
God, I haven't played Diablo in years. I remember going from Diablo 2 to 3, watching somebody play it. Like they put in a whole bunch of new physics, and there's like ragdoll physics in it now, and things were flying all over the place that I'm not used to seeing. I'm used to seeing like the death animation of certain things, but
Right.
it looked like a lot more intense, and I just for some reason I missed the boat on it, but
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking sick. All right, I'm gonna throw this up here, Leah.
Yeah. I might have to check that out at some time.
I love
at
how
some
I
point.
told people I'm doing this podcast tonight, and people are still DMing me like, "Hey, what are you up to right now?"
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
Why are you looking at your DMs?
What am I up
looking
to?
at-
Talking to
Because,
my friend
oh,
after
because you had to
the
post that
fucking
in Discord. Never
listen to
mind.
me.
I'm stupid. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. All right.
Well, it's not like I can avoid looking at my DMs right now.
When you're in the Discord, yeah, I know.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was
Right.
a silly thing I just said, so I get it.
Yes, it
And you
was.
wonder why the hell I scold you about baking your brain so much.
Wow, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back on that. Wow. I've just taken
You're
all
just
the
done.
fucking shade today. Wow.
Did I? I thought I
That was
saw
a
a
double
target
barrel to
on
this.
Bud's
Yeah.
window today.
Oh.
I guess that's what it means. So
No, I wouldn't pick on
Bud,
you, but
Bud, need
yeah.
some burn cream, bud? Need some burn cream, pal?
I was in the middle of saying something to you, you jerk.
Oh, I love you guys. I'm
shit.
just teasing.
But it's like, so this has been a great podcast.
That's been a great
let's go ahead and
podcast.
kick it
Okay,
over
let's
to-
go over to viewer questions. No.
We'll just see him huddled in the corner in the fetal position
Just me
because
crying.
Lee tore him a new asshole.
I just wanted to do a podcast for the faithful and show them what the correct community we got. What did I do to deserve this?
Oh, Sean, I only pick on you because I love you.
I know.
Maybe a little more
Oh,
time.
no,
Why the
I
hell
just-
do you pick on me? I know you don't love me.
Yeah, that's
You
why
just pick
nobody
on me
picks
'cause
on
you don't
Paul.
pick on me.
Oh,
I just pick on you because you're there.
Wow. But to fill the seats.
I'm never going to the Academy Awards as a nominee. I'll be a seat filler.
Oh, BST filler. There you go. Oh, wow.
Wow.
This has been entertaining. So, yeah, Leigh, what was your, did you say what was your first game you've ever streamed?
Oh, the first game I ever streamed?
Yeah.
I tried to stream The Sims 3 and it was a total train wreck.
Oh, no. What happened?
It was way too powerful for my little potato.
Oh, your computer couldn't handle it. Yeah.
Oh, the old.
Is that when you
potato.
decided to do like retro? Because it would run a little bit better, or was
That's
there something in
exactly
between
why
that?
I decided to do
Is it?
retro.
Okay.
Because I have Nintendo and Super Nintendo emulators,
Mhm.
and they run so much better on the old computer
Right.
than anything
Then
else.
trying to run
did,
like a full
so-
3D game like The Sims or something. Yeah.
So what I did was I just streamed those at first.
Okay.
In fact, I remember one night I streamed Tetris and Tetris 2, and so many people were like, I didn't even know there was a Tetris 2.
Really? Yeah, I knew about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
Did you ever play the one on? Didn't they have like a spherical Tetris on Nintendo 64? What was that called? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. But there was one where it was a Tetris, but it was like a sphere, and it was a sphere puzzle with Tetris pieces. It was on the Nintendo 64.
I've never seen that.
Really
I think I
played-
remember hearing.
I've only played one N64 game, and that was Super Mario 64, and I fucking hated it.
Oh,
geez.
okay. Well, now I got 2 questions for you.
Oh,
Have you played Tetris on a PS1? I forgot the name of it. Tetris Plus is the one. Tetris Plus on a PS1. You got the little man, and he walks around the Tetris board, and you got to get him to the bottom to get to the treasure, I guess is what it's called.
Never played that.
Okay, and now you have to explain, especially to a bunch of retro guys that are surrounding me, why you hate Super Mario 64.
That was my first ever experience with an N64.
Mhm.
The controller was really clunky.
oh, I hate that controller.
Every
yeah.
freaking time I tried to do something, Mario would fall off the fucking screen.
That controller
And
is bad.
oh my god, and it just got to be so annoying.
The camera
was
is the
just
true
like-
enemy.
The camera is the worst thing in that game by
The
far.
camera kept turning around on me whether
Yeah.
I was touching anything or not, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah.
If this was like an actual news broadcast, this cameraman would be fired faster than you can say dickhead.
Wow.
The Nintendo 64 controller is notoriously shitty.
Yeah.
So for anybody who wants to replace their goddamn controller, Retro Brawler has one. Retro Fighters is actually their name.
Yeah.
The Brawler 64 controller, this fucking thing is great. It
Yeah.
works fucking amazing.
Yeah, I almost got one of
Looks like
those.
a-
Yeah,
yeah,
I almost
it's
bought
like
one of those. I've been thinking about it.
364.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it works. I mean, look, you got the C-pad still over here, the AMD.
Yeah, it's a
but
Nintendo
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
64 controller just made to, like fit human hands.
You still got your fucking
I
packs
know,
in the
I
back.
I like the little.
You like the
weird
Trident?
jet engine? Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it
No.
was a unique
Hell no.
experience. Am I the only one that liked it? Holy
I
crap!
think so. I
Now
think
I'm
so.
the leper here. Holy
You are
crap.
the
Jesus.
leper
I
turd
liked
monk.
it. I thought it was cool.
It's okay. You're allowed to have your opinion, as
Yeah.
wrong as it is.
Especially
Yeah.
when it's
Not-
wrong.
Getting spicy. Lee, I think
Am I
Lee might be
sitting
our
next to Bud?
spiciest
I feel
guest
like I'm
so
getting
far, and
splat
that's no
shots over
lie.
here. Damn it.
Yeah, it's called
Okay.
Tetrasphere was the name of the game. I just saw in chat.
No,
Yeah.
I never saw
Tetrasphere.
that game. That
Hmm.
sounds cool.
Yeah, Tetrasphere. It was on the Nintendo 64. It's a Tetris game, and it's the board you play on is a sphere. It's like it's a sphere, and
Well,
it's
I
a
never
Tetris.
actually owned an N64.
Yeah, I bet you could probably play it on like Project 64 or something, or freaking
I
RetroArch.
have
RetroArch.
that one.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
just
RetroArch.
don't really have anything for it.
Project 64 is pretty ass right now.
Is
don't
it?
know what
I haven't
the hell
used
happened
I
to
haven't
it.
used it in forever. That was just my first N64 emulator. Right now RetroArch is everything.
Retro
I
Arch all
have
the way.
the I also have the Visual Boy Advance emulator,
That shit's
and
amazing.
I've got a really good Pokemon Fire Red randomizer for it.
Oh,
Nice.
Ooh.
It's fun.
So you were talking
They
about
said Visual Boy.
Visual Boy Advance, the
Okay,
emulator.
I want to make sure you didn't say Virtual Boy because I'm
No,
like,
I
oh
said
come
Visual
on,
Boy.
really?
Visual Boy. Yeah, it's probably made to sound like that. Yeah.
I know people that play
Yeah, I was
Virtual
like-
Boy games, so.
No, thank you.
Yeah, doesn't Max Game Squad? I think he
Yeah.
likes the Virtual Boy. At least
He
that's.
does.
I
He
don't know if
was
he was
doing
joking, but he used to
achievements
say
on a bunch
that.
of
Yeah,
those.
he did some Chivos on it. Yeah.
And
No,
they're
I
all
had a-
fucking black and red too. You're like, God, my eyes are
Oh.
burning.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah. It gives me a headache. I can't play them. I tried it once back in the day. They had a display at Walmart, or I think it was Kmart, one of those stores, and I tried it at the display, and it gave me a headache in like 2 minutes. I'm like, no, screw this.
You sure you
It's
weren't
like
too high,
AVGN
bud?
said. What were
I was
they
a kid.
thinking?
Did
Yeah.
you forget how old you were?
Huh? Did I forget how? Jesus
Okay,
Christ!
you're
This is
treading a
the
thin line here,
shit on BCTV podcast.
Hey, this is an 18 and over stream.
Yeah.
I think Captain Dark needs to be shown the door.
Yeah. Somebody get his blankie
Does your mom know you're here?
and his pacifier.
I'm gonna turn the Wi-Fi off on his ass.
Turn the Wi-Fi off. Yeah. We'll put up the
I
net
know how to
nanny.
turn that shit right back on. Unless you unplug it, I know how to turn that shit right back on.
So Leigh, you were saying you started out, you had some trouble because you were having trouble running it on your computer, but you recently got a new one. How's that been treating you?
It's had a couple of quirks here and there that I'm just getting used to, but for the most part, I'm so happy with it. I love my new computer.
Yeah, that's how you're able to do Diablo 3 and all that. It's so
So
awesome.
happy when
I remember you
got
being
that.
really excited. She was as she was getting it, she was like DMing me like, oh, I got the processors in, oh, the fans in, and as it was going, it was really awesome.
The
That's
thing
awesome.
that when he came in here to tell me that my computer had been delivered days ahead of when we expected it, I was in the middle of trying to watch that first episode of The Stand on CBS
Oh, yeah,
All
yeah, yeah.
Access.
Yeah.
So I'm like maybe
Yeah.
10 minutes into this episode. I never got to finish it.
You're talking about the new one, right? I haven't watched
Yeah.
that. Is
yeah,
it good?
the new one.
I remember the
My
old one
wife
was
and I were
good.
watching that the other day.
Oh, you can't say.
It's
Okay.
good.
Is it okay?
It's good.
I can't say because I only got to see 10 minutes of that first episode,
Oh.
and I never got to go back and finish anything else in it.
You'll have to let me know how you like it once you get back to it. That's yeah.
Once Bar is able to find a way for me to actually watch it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, my wife's a big Stand fan. So she's been watching
She's
that.
been
She's
watching
watched
it.
all the old
I've
ones. And
actually read
this
that
one's really
book,
good.
the
Mhm.
entire book. I've actually read it like twice.
yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm like fucking lost here.
It's a Stephen
Oh,
King.
The Stand.
Stephen King, The Stand.
Same. Yeah. It's a great. It's
Yeah.
a great book, and
There's a
it's
In the
miniseries,
grown-up section of the
miniseries.
library.
Yeah,
Captain
it's in-
Dark.
Yeah.
Hey, first of
that's
all,
probably why you haven't seen it.
Hey. First of all, my grandma made me read like a motherfucker.
It's next to the pop-up books.
But I just missed that one, so I'm gonna have to find that one.
Yeah, Stephen King,
It's
The
good.
Stand.
But,
Yeah.
I was that shy kid in school who was always really quiet and reading Stephen King in 7th grade.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Nice.
was the little twisted one that nobody knew was twisted.
Twisted.
Just secretly twisted. All right. Cool. All right. Very cool.
There's your title then. Secretly Twisted. There's your title. for the-
Secretly
Yeah,
twisted. Well, I already
that's
put the
better.
title on there, but that's just the title for the stream though. I can change the title when I upload it to YouTube, so we can think about that. That was Twistedly. Very nice. All right, so we got some viewer questions popping in. Do you guys, anybody else have any other questions for Leigh before we jump to the Q&A?
I'm good.
All
I
right.
know a lot about Lee, so I don't really.
Well, yeah, but you could ask something that maybe you know about Leigh that maybe the audience might not know.
Not that I can think of right out the back.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. So we'll jump right to viewer questions then. I'll just start at the top. We'll go top to bottom. Lumby McGrumby. And this is actually a question for everybody. He's asking, we'll just go down the line. I'll start, and then we'll just go clockwise. Me, Dart, Chard, Leigh, and then Paul, if we're going clockwise. What was everybody's favorite video game console design and why? Talking about the shell, the outside, not the hardware inside, just the design. And that comes from Lumby McGumby. PS4. I like it simple. PS4 is simple. It's just short, rectangular. It's got kind of an angle. I also like the PS1 design though because it's the PS1 and it's got that cool the top loading CD tray. How it's got kind of the circular part on top. I always thought that looked cool. I'm talking about the original, not the Slims, although they had it too. So PS1 and PS4 for me. Dart.
For me, I had to say, you know what? I had to say the GameCube. The
Oh.
GameCube has so much
Damn it.
functionality to it, and I.
That was charged.
But I
No,
had to
please
say the
please
GameCube.
tell them all about the one I was going to talk about. Please. Yeah, think of another one.
But the GameCube has so much functionality to it. Not only did it have a little handle in the back that you could carry the damn thing with, but you had a Game Boy player. Look, see. He's about to show you. Look at that, the greatness. Lots of
Yeah.
available colors. The thing would just run like a fucking champ.
was cool
had
as
a
shit, man.
great library. Game Boy games could be played on it. You
I
had
thought it had a game in
online
it.
functionality. holy hell, was the GameCube the best design? I know we say it, not the hardware and stuff like that, but look at that. It's look at that. Just look at that shape. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I was definitely going to second the GameCube, where it may not have the games and stuff. But I mean, it had Metroid Prime on it, which was all it really needed.
Right.
Skies of Arcadia, buddy.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's designed really well, and I always thought the Nintendo was really innovative with what they were trying to do, because they did the same thing with the 64, right? At one point, the 64 was just going to be like the base unit, and then they were just going to add shit to it, but they never made anything else, because it had all these weird random slots and things that you could attach to it, but they never made the stuff, or if they did, we never got it. But I'm going to have to go, if we're going to go with design, I would like to go with, I'm going to go original NES, the very first Nintendo Entertainment System that we got in the States.
It's hooked up. I can't move it. Yeah.
With the flip top, and you slide the thing in, you push it down, you close the gate, and it's simple little box. You press power, you press reset, you plug in your shit, and you're good to go.
Can I
Very
change my
simple.
answer?
There we go.
Can I change my
What?
answer? I like the NES
There
too.
it is.
Yeah.
The NES is a
The
great.
original NES.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a great system. Look at that. Look at that beautiful cube. I love it.
Yeah. I love it too.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to honorable mention, I think PlayStation 2, because I thought it was really cool that they created a game system that you can either have laying flat or on its side.
Yep.
So you can
Yes.
you could slide it into tighter spots, or you could just lay it flat like you usually do.
I even loved, and
And-
this is silly. Speaking of the PS2, it turned it horizontal and vertical. The little PlayStation logo, on the CD tray, you could actually turn it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You could turn
Yeah.
it so it was right side up when you flipped it
So you-
horizontal. It's
You
like,
knew
really?
it
That
was
cool.
designed.
Yeah.
It was designed for that, like
Yeah.
specifically, and I thought that was really innovative to be like, let's think about spacing.
Yeah.
Again, not talking about hardware or anything like that, just basic casing.
Yeah, I always kept mine
those would be my
horizontal, but I always kept mine horizontal, but I always really thought it was cool that you could get the little stand and set it vertical if you wanted to.
Oh, mine was always vertical.
You had
Just
yours
'cause I was like,
vertical,
I can fucking do it. I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. Doing it.
Mine's always laid flat.
Yeah, yeah.
It's boring.
LeighClipse,
Mine actually was the PlayStation 2,
there you go.
Oh.
Yeah,
the original one.
yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
The little fat model.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the fat one. Yeah.
I'm kind of partial to that one because I actually won one from a radio station once.
Wow.
Cool.
It was really
I-
awesome, like alternative / metal channel that did a 12 Days of Christmas giveaway, and I won on the third day.
That's sick.
Nice.
That
I'd
was
keep that too.
awesome.
I'd be
That is
be
awesome.
like, this ain't going nowhere.
Mine.
She got a fucking PlayStation 2.
Yeah, hell yeah. Very cool. Yeah, PlayStation 2, definitely classic. That's probably in my top 3 favorite consoles of all time. Not because of the design, but because of the games. But yeah, it's good design too. Okay.
Yeah.
Paul?
Atari 2600.
Ooh, we went old school
I mean, come on.
with the wood
I-
grain,
Yeah, grayer.
with the wood and all that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what. Oh,
Yeah.
it-
And the mechanical
I-
switches.
Yes.
Yeah.
I grew up in Wisconsin in the 80s, which means it still looked like it was the 70s. Wisconsin is a decade behind on everything from fashion to home decor.
Indiana.
And so
Yep,
And
there
so-
you go.
I have more hardwood furniture in my living room that is very old. And just to have like a game console that looks like that, it was just yes. And the
Yeah.
game sticks out the top proudly. You can see exactly what the you're playing.
Right.
It's just oh
It's the size
Love
of a
it.
small brick.
Wow. He
no,
dug
that-
deep in old school. I like that.
that's the 5200.
Oh, I'm thinking 52. That's
Oh,
what I-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2600 was
But
the
if you-
one. The classic one.
Okay.
If you get me started on the 7800, no, that thing could stop a tank.
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
President, use it.
As a tank. All right, very cool. That was Lumpy
War.
McGovey. Thank you for the question. We got a few more questions. We got more questions rolling in too. This is a very productive podcast. Next question is from Steve's Retro for Lee. It says, "Hi Lee, what is it you love so much about the Sims games and Stardew Valley, and what's your favorite retro title?"
Steve. Well, I think the reason I love The Sims and Stardew Valley so much is because it's just one more way for me to exercise my creativity. Like, I'm not good at art, I suck at art, but I have a really, really worldwide creative streak
You do.
that I exercise in other ways.
Mhm.
If I'm not making something in The Sims or decorating something in Stardew Valley, I'm making jewelry with beads that I collect. I do all kinds of stuff just to be creative.
We didn't talk
Keep
about
my
your
brain
jewelry, but that's really
alive.
awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And my favorite retro title, it would have to be probably Super Mario 3.
Good choice.
That is my favorite Mario game ever.
Poor
I
Bud.
look at Bud, of course.
He's got it.
This is the best Mario game
You
ever.
freaking
The first time I streamed it, my high school friend, he was like, looking at her just going through all these levels, making them look super easy.
Right.
Right. Yeah, such a great game. It was so innovative with the level design and different characters you could play as, the item management. They actually had to put a special chip on the NES cartridge to get it to run. 2 separate screens to get it to run, the inventory management, the stat screen at the very bottom, separate from the actual game where it scrolls. Fantastic title. And who
Anybody go see that movie, The Wizard?
I was just getting ready to say,
just to
that,
see.
you
yeah.
read my
the
mind.
2 seconds of fucking Super Mario 3.
I was
and
there.
then you didn't get anything else after that. You're like, that's the only reason I came here was to see that shit.
Then you leave.
And you left. Yeah.
Sure didn't come here to see Fred Savage, damn it.
No, I didn't come here to see the Power
Seriously,
Glove
no.
either. I wanted to see Mario 3. Yeah, exactly.
I certainly didn't come here to see some stupid movie about kids running away from home.
Right, yeah. The movie was terrible.
want
The
the
only
video
good part
game.
about it was the Mario 3 that was
God,
in it.
yeah, that
Yeah.
movie was terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
It was.
So bad. All right, let's see. You got another one for Lee from Quirky. Quirky asks, Lee, sounds like you enjoy simulation and puzzle genre games the most. What is your least favorite genre of game?
First-person shooters.
Oh.
I can't play them for shit.
It's a different
If I
experience.
start
yeah.
to if I start to go into a first-person shooter, I start to get really, really motion sick.
Yeah.
I can't play first-person games very well.
Mhm.
Like the only way I can handle actually playing a first-person game is if I'm in total control of the camera so that I'm not getting sick.
Sure.
But if I'm watching other people play first-person games, I can't do it for more than like 30 minutes before my stomach is like, okay, I'm out of here. Bye.
Right. Yeah, it could be disorienting.
Yeah.
I think. I used to be in a World of Warcraft guild with a guy who wouldn't, because some of us would also play Battlefield 2. Yeah, nerd. And he couldn't play Battlefield. No, yeah, he couldn't play Battlefield 2 with us because he was like you. He would get motion sickness, so he only ended up playing WoW with us. So yeah, it's actually, I think it's more common than people think. Right.
It no,
And
really is.
MMOs,
My,
yeah. I've played
Go ahead,
WoW,
Lee.
and because of WoW, I refuse to ever go near another MMO.
What
I said
was
the
it
same
about
thing
WoW
until 14 came out,
specifically?
so.
Just out of curiosity, what was it about WoW specifically that turned you off of MMOs?
I got tired of losers asking me to take my clothes off for money.
fuck.
wow.
Were you playing as a female night elf?
Blood elf.
Same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, I mean, red versus yeah.
But even
Perverts
when I
in WoW.
wasn't,
Yeah.
holy shit, I played as one of the Pandaren girls once.
Fun.
Yeah.
WoW turned me off to MMOs for a long time too until
Yeah.
I found 14. It sucked me right. back
Right.
in.
Yeah. I
Obviously,
stopped
nobody asked
WoW
me
at
to do that,
Cataclysm
but-
just because Cataclysm was it for me. But yeah, hell, you play as a female character even as a dude, and people are like, "Take your clothes off. Get away from me, you idiot."
Yeah,
I would love to play 14, but that monthly subscription shit, I can't do
worth
that.
it. It's so worth it.
Yeah.
It looks. I mean, it's fun as a final because like I said, I like the Final Fantasy series, and I've seen the layout of the game,
Mhm.
and it does make me want to play. It's like I don't want to pay monthly to play this shit.
Right.
I think you get like a couple
Kitty
months
cat.
free. I think if you start up, like if they'll give you like a 3-month startup free or something. I'll have
Right.
to look.
All right, looks like we got one more question. Actually, I think there was another one in chat too, but I'm going to grab this one first. This one's asked by Ryan from Laid Back with a Beer. This is a general question for everybody. So we'll do the same thing we did with the other one. We'll start with me and go clockwise. What is a game you know is shitty, but you personally love it? For me, Castlevania 2. Easy. Everybody hates Castlevania 2. I love CV2. Great game, fond memories of that. I don't care that it's cryptic. I don't care that it's translated bad because I can play it in my sleep because it's that good. It's got great music. It was the first game that I ever knew of that had a day-night cycle. It wasn't very hard to play through. It was pretty easy, but I just really liked that they tried to innovate a little bit and add some RPG elements, even though it wasn't done that great. But for me, Castlevania 2, everybody hates it. I love it. Fight me. Captain Dark?
Wow. For me, it would have to be the Grinch for the PlayStation 1.
Wow.
It's a pretty bad game. It's really bad, actually. There's a whole bunch of glitches and shit in it. You can fall through the floor just coming out of the first level. You can just walk and then fall right through the floor.
Oh, man.
Blueprints go missing. You clip through the board as you're going up an elevator. It's all types of fucked up. But every year I play the damn game. I just love it. I don't care. Everybody talks shit about it, but I love the Grinch as character. I've always loved the cartoon. So playing the game
the
is
cartoon's
something
great.
like, so yeah. I don't care what anybody says.
I think we all grew up watching, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the original cartoon, at least, the Dr. Seuss. I haven't actually seen the movie Jim Carrey was in, but I fondly remember watching the original cartoon as a kid.
Actually,
you're not missing anything.
I've heard it's not good.
It's really not good.
Is it? No, okay. That's probably why I didn't bother to go see it. Yeah. What about you, Charty?
We know the streamer Sarconius. He has like a wheel that you spin, and you get to pick a game that he gets to play. Now, he thinks I'm trolling him when I pick this game for him. It's a shit game, and it's terrible. But I love it. I love this stupid game. It's called Cyborg Justice for the Sega Genesis. And I selected that for him to play, and he fucking hated it. And he thought I was trolling him, but I seriously wasn't. I grew up playing it. You are my childhood friend that I've literally known my entire life. He and I used to get together every weekend, and we'd play this stupid fucking game. It is poorly designed. Every level is the exact same, except the coloring is different. But they're all designed the same way. You basically rip off other cyborgs' arms. It's like a beat 'em up. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. And you get to change your arms and change your robot's legs and stuff on the fly. And there's missiles shooting at you while you're walking. And there's giant holes in the floor you have to somehow jump over to get past. It's a giant pain in the ass, and it's a big piece of shit. But I fucking love playing it.
What's it called again?
I don't know why. It's called Cyborg Justice, and it's a tire fire. But I love it. I have very fond memories of playing it as a child. So, Sark, if you're listening, you make fun of me about it later, but I actually really like that game.
The graphics don't look terrible. I'm looking up screenshots of it now.
What's it called?
Have you seen?
I want to look.
It's called Cyborg Justice.
Cyborg Justice.
It's literally the same thing over and over and over again.
It does look repetitive.
Rip off the arm, rip off a torso.
I mean, it looks like a weekend rental. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
it looks like a weekend rental.
Definite weekend rental.
Definitely not a buy, but maybe a weekend rental. Yeah.
Yeah, we never owned it, but we rented it a lot, and we just kept playing it and trying to beat it. It's hard as shit.
Hey, man, as long as you love it, that's all that counts, right? Yeah.
Right.
As long as you guys had fun with it. Cool.
But God, is it awful. God, it's bad.
I might have to check it out just to see what you're talking about at some point. Nice.
Yeah, you'll play it and be like, what the hell's wrong
What the
with
hell
him,
is
man?
wrong
This
with
game is
Chard? I
garbage.
think he's lost his mind.
All right.
I think he had a meltdown.
Yeah.
All right, LeighClipse, what about you? A game that everybody thinks sucks, but you like.
A game that everybody thinks sucks, but I like.
Or a game that you know is shitty, but you personally love it. That's how Ryan put it.
I think maybe I'd have to go with the first, like the original Resident Evil.
Really?
That game was like terrible voice acting.
Yeah, I've never played it.
Questionable graphics. But
It's shaky.
it's just itchy tasty.
It's hard to. I can't turn around to that fucking game.
That's
Like,
a quote from one of the files in the game.
It's called
Itchy
Itchy Tasty.
Tasty?
See, I've not played the first one.
Yeah.
In the first one,
Yeah.
you actually can find a diary that's written by one of the people that worked there.
Uh-huh.
His main job, according to what he wrote, seemed to be feeding the dogs on the grounds every day. And the more you read of this diary, the further you get into it, the more you can see his mind slipping and becoming more of a zombie. Finally, it gets to the last page, and the only two words he was able to write were itchy tasty.
Interesting. Very
That's
interesting.
neat.
It's
I didn't.
just-
I don't think.
I
Yeah.
imagine it has something to do with the dogs, but I'm not going to ask you to spoil anything. But
It didn't have to do with the dogs. It had
Okay.
to do with the actual virus outbreak in the mansion.
because Itchy, maybe you got itch from the virus. Okay, cool.
Maybe.
Cool. Yeah. I'll have to play it sometime and find out because that sounds.
I
Itchy
can't
tasty.
actually play the remake that they made of it. It's way too realistic looking.
Even
And
more
I
so
have
than
a
2.
really bad
I-
snake phobia.
Really want to fucking
Oh.
play the remakes.
I played the
Love that
remake of
too.
2. That's the only one of the remakes I've played so
my-
far, and it was amazing. It was really good.
Just watching him play the remake of 2 scared the crap out of me.
It was bad. It was scary. Yeah, it was
oh
so
my
good.
God, remember that moment when you're like, oh, okay, he's upstairs, and then you look in the door, it's like, here!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Mr. X. Oh, dude, that dude just he haunts
Oh,
my
that was
dreams.
oh my God.
I wake up
you
hearing
made me-
footsteps.
I jumped so hard. I
Yeah.
jumped so hard when that happened. I
Yeah.
hit my wrist on the desk.
I remember you
Oh, that
you
sounds
said
fun.
something about that. I remember that. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, we
That
both
sounds
jumped.
fun.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah, remake was so good. I mean, the original was really good too, but the remake was just so
But the
good.
remake of 3 was really bad.
That's what I hear. Yeah, I heard. Was it you
Yeah.
or somebody else was telling me that the remake of 3 was really not good?
I think I was one of the people telling you about
It was you
It's-
and somebody else. There was 2 people telling me about it. You
The
and
remake
Because
of
I've-
3 are bad.
Yeah.
I've watched a few people play the remake of number 3, and
Mm.
it's just
Yeah, I think you
Like-
guys were talking about it in my chat when I was playing the original 3 when you and I were in voice chat.
it was
Yeah.
rushed.
Yeah.
I think.
They took too
They
much
had
out
so
of
much-
it.
They had so
They
much
did.
success with the first 2. that
Yeah,
probably
they
just
put them
like,
on crunch
We
time.
can't fail
and-
with another
yeah.
one. Let's just rush this bitch out.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
that's
just
pretty
easy
much
money.
what it was. They
Yeah.
got the look down. They got the mechanics mostly functioning. They just decided to go ahead and not worry about finishing off the other areas and just do what they already had and just send it out to everybody. And so many people protested it because they left out one of the best parts in the game. I was telling you about it last week while I was
Yeah.
walking you through the rest of Resident
Yeah,
Evil 3.
I remember you were telling me about it.
Clock
Yeah.
tower.
It was the clock tower, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up leaving the clock tower out.
How can you do
completely.
that? That's just weird. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And then they changed it around so that instead of Jill going through the police station at the beginning, Carlos goes through it with one of his teammates.
Really?
Because he's looking for this character that didn't even
should've
exist
just-
in the original game.
They should have just given Carlos a prequel or something. I don't know. All right, very cool, very cool. All right,
I mean, I get wanting to expand Carlos's part. Why don't you just give him his own fucking game?
that's what I was saying. Yeah, give him his own game.
Problem solved.
Yeah. Keep Resident Evil 3. Make Carlos do Resident Evil. Carlos, I don't know.
3.1.
3.5.
Code
Yeah,
Carlos.
yeah. Just call it Carlos. Yeah, there you go.
Playing this great new horror game called Carlos.
Did you play
It's
Carlos
amazing.
3? It was amazing.
You like Carlos? It's
I'm
amazing.
afraid of what's going to happen if they decide to remake Code Veronica.
Oh man,
That game was so good.
remakes can be really good or they can be really bad. I don't know if there's any real in between. It doesn't seem like there is. It seems like people either really love them or really hate them.
2 and 3 are a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
2 was really good.
2 was great, and 3,
really bad.
everybody I've heard. I mean, I can't speak to it because I haven't played it, but everybody I've heard talk about it so far has really kind of not been that positive about RE3 or remake. So that's interesting. Paul, what about you? What is a game that you really love that everybody else doesn't care for? Don't say it.
Okay.
Oh,
What?
Oh, the way you laughed, I thought you were going to
No, I'm
say
not.
no.
I'm not going to say Adventure Island, you freaking whore. Okay.
All right. I thought I know you.
you should have
This is
said
a
Don't
game.
on my
Paul.
mind.
Get out of my head.
You called me a jackass earlier because Nicole redeemed no swearing, and I said she did, and he's like, "No, she didn't, you jackass." Look at your own screen.
It was scrolled past. I didn't see it.
Let's quite a jump from jackass to whore, okay? Jeez.
It's both.
That is pretty good. That is pretty big jump there. Yeah. I'm gonna have to put you.
Anyway.
Lee's gonna put you in timeout.
Bring it.
Send him a bar of soap and make him suck it.
Wow.
Ooh, phrasing.
Only if it's a certain shape. Um,
Okay.
Okay. Ew. Double. Ew. Oh my God. Gross.
Arca can find it. He can find it on the internet.
All right.
I believe that.
I bet he can.
That seems like that's part of Rule 34.
Dude, as a prank, he sent one of his. He was like trying to find something dick shaped to send one of his friends. I told him to send the coloring book full of dicks. His friend actually loved it. He's like, "How did you know I wanted this?"
Get out of my head, Paul.
Paul, what's
Answer
your
the
terrible
answer
game?
the question.
All right, go. Take yourself back early 90s when there actually were like independent video game stores. There was one at the mini mall right by my parents' house called Video Maniacs. They had a couple of arcade games on rotation, and one of them was a fighting game called Time Killers. It's terrible. It's a complete Mortal Kombat ripoff with even worse graphics, and you can chop off arms and legs during the fight, and you can one-hit KO by somebody by chopping their head off. Yeah. The characters, I mean, you had a caveman, you had a knight, you had a cyber dude, you had a praying mantis, you had a chainsaw-wielding cyberpunk guy with a green mohawk.
I remember Time Killers.
It's so early 90s.
I'm looking at it right now.
I am too. Yeah. I just saw the guy with the green mohawk. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, it's a piece of total 1992, 1993 edgy.
This level I'm looking at looks like it was made in MS Paint.
Couldn't like the mantis like eat their head or eat like the dude's head, and that's like one of its like ultra kills or some shit?
I don't think I never used Mantaz. I never used Mantaz. I used Sir Wolf, who was the knight.
Yes.
So they're fighting through time.
Yeah, and it's bad. And at the end, you fight Satan, but he looks like a freaking mix between a goat and a manticore. It's just like, what the? And he's got a trident. It's just like so many drugs were taken while this game was made. So, but it's still, funny. It still has that early 90s charm. Well, because I just moved to California and playing that at the freaking video game store, which actually also was technically my first job that I ever had, was working at that video game store.
Nice.
So happy memories. Happy memories.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Has anybody got any closing thoughts? We're right here about the end of the episode. Anybody got any final thoughts for the folks?
No.
I will take that as a no.
Yeah. I think this is great getting to know Lee. I'm probably the one person in the group that learned a lot today. So
I think
really
we all learned a lot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely learned a lot. I definitely haven't learned how to adjust my audio. Hold on a second.
What?
Can you hear me over this audio? It seems like a little
No,
loud.
I can't hear you, bud. Sorry.
What?
There you go. Oh, you couldn't? I'm glad you told me that you couldn't hear me. I'm glad you responded to my verbal question.
Huh?
What? I can't hear you.
No, this has been spectacular getting to know you, LeighClipse. I'm very happy that we got to chat. This was cool.
Yeah, that music is way too loud. I'm going to turn it off.
Was really
it's supposed to
fun.
be background. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We really enjoyed having you on as a guest, LeighClipse. It's been fantastic. Lee is an amazing streamer. She is an amazing moderator, an amazing friend, an amazing member of the community. I am so honored to have you, Lee, as part of our team. You do so much more than people even come close to realizing behind the scene when it comes to this channel, not just for the podcast, but for the stream in whole. And you've been a part of that since almost the very beginning. And I appreciate you, LeighClipse. I love you. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, and thank you for doing all you do. And I hope we be friends for a long time, and I hope we can continue to do many more of these. So that would be my closing thoughts.
I'm gonna cry.
I messed it up too. I'm not gonna lie. I messed it up because I meant every word of it. So you're a special person, Lee, and I just want to say once again, thank you for being part of the channel, because you do awesome things and you are appreciated.
Agreed.
All right, guys. I guess that's good. We'll wrap it there. We'll wrap it up there. I can't think of a better way to end it than that. LeighClipse, once again, thank you. Chardmuck, thank you for being on the stream. Captain Dark, Paul, That Family Games. This has been a pleasure. Everybody watching at home.